And what were the Giants thinking? Like paying Daniel Jones all this money. I get it. 40-0. It's not all his fault. Can't blame Daniel Jones for all of that. There's probably multiple people that you could blame before Daniel Jones. But like, let's be real. Let's look at his numbers at the end of the game: 15 out of 28, 104 yards, 2 interceptions, and the number one reason, or the number one, telltale that you could tell that Daniel Jones is not the guy is that not once, when the Giants went down, like, what was it, 26-0, or like whatever the score was after halftime. Not once in my mind did I think Daniel Jones could lead a comeback. Not once. Like, there was never an inkling in my head that, like, oh, you know what, Daniel Jones is gonna put this team on his back. Is gonna bring him back. If the threat of the running game's not there no more, Daniel Jones is gonna be able to bring him back with his arm. Like, it was done. It was cooked. Like, you could turn that game off, and it was a wrap. Like, there's no way Daniel Jones, and this is $40 million a year, Daniel Jones, who you know, and even most Giants fans could probably agree to this. Like, the game was over. Like, if you're gonna force, and here's another reason why you could tell that the Giants they know what they have in Daniel Jones. Like, this fool threw for 28. This fool threw 28 times the whole game. When you're down that big, like, dude, people throw 28 games in a game that they're leading, like, for the whole game. Like, this is a game where Daniel Jones should have thrown the ball like 50 times. But they know. They're like, 2 interceptions. It's not looking too good. Team feels wet. Probably doesn't have the strongest arm to, get the ball downfield in these conditions. Like, let's try to run the ball. Let's try to do a little, Daniel Jones runs here and there. He carried the ball 13 times. He almost had as many runs as completions. He had 15 completions, 13 runs. Like, what are we doing here? Like, hopefully they have, I haven't looked, I'm not too familiar with the contract they gave him. I know it's 40 a year for like 3-4 years. If they have outs, hopefully they take it after this year, because I'm gonna tell you this: Daniel Jones is not that guy. He's not that guy. Saquon Barkley looked pretty good. We'll see. We'll see if the Giants are able to bounce back. But the Cowboys defense single-handedly bringing fantasy managers back into their matchup. 27 points, ridiculous. And just out of fantasy, not thinking about fantasy, just they're so stacked on defense. They're so stacked. Like, it's pretty crazy. Oh man, the Cowboys are for real, man. If Dak Prescott could do anything, I have Dak Prescott. He only scored like 6 points, but the game, didn't really dictated him to throw the ball. So it is what it is. But if the Cowboys are gonna have this type of defense, this type of performance from their players the whole season, it's bad for the league, man. Trayvon Diggs forcing that fumble with his brother in the stands, showing out for his brother. Obviously Micah Parsons fucking all over the field, looking like a menace. He only had 2 tackles, but you could tell he was there, pressuring. And the Giants just could not stop the rush against this defense. Like, it was bad. How many sacks did they have? Let me look at the team stats. Daniel Jones, to his credit, he was pressured all day. I gotta give him that. Let's see, he was sacked 7 times. So maybe I was a little harsh on Daniel Jones. 7 sacks. And he doesn't have the best wide receiver group, to be honest. Maybe I'm a little. It is overreaction Monday. Maybe Daniel Jones does have a chance to be the guy, but like, for me personally, I've seen enough. I don't think he's the guy. I don't think he's gonna. Yeah, it's cool that he cut down on the interceptions and the fumbles last year. I think he only had like 5 interceptions. Well, he has 2 this year already. We'll see how many he ends up with. We'll see if it. I'm more of like, last year was a fluke and that's his peak, and like, that's close to his peak, then that's a big leap he took, and he's gonna keep taking leaps like that. I'm more of like, they were very lucky to get that last year, and if they get that again, they'll be over the moon. And if they get something better than that, they'll be like over 5 moons. But I'm more like, that guy that they saw last year was like the best possible outcome, and he's gonna regress a little bit. And I still can't believe they gave him $40 million a year. That's insane. Like I said, not once did I think Daniel Jones was gonna bring this team back. Especially, like I said, they are playing the Cowboys defense, and once you go down and you let them just pressure you, it's gonna be a long day. What do you guys think? Are the Giants are they done? Like 40-0 on opening day, that could demoralize any team, especially in New York. Like I can't even imagine the headlines in New York. But yeah, the Cowboys look legit. We'll see how they do the rest of the season. The Cowboys have the Jets coming up. That should be interesting. We'll see how the Jets do today on Monday Night Football, and the Giants have the Cardinals coming up, so that's a good bounce back opportunity for the Giants. But overall, like I don't think Daniel Jones is the guy for the Giants. Like he's just not him. He's not him.